You're 90 days away from the life that you keep saying you want. Not someday, not next year, 90 days. That dream that has been sitting on your vision board for months or years, it's not as far away as it feels. The only difference between the people who get what they want and the ones who stay stuck is what I'm going to show you in this video. I'm walking you through the exact system that I've used to reinvent multiple areas of my life. Health, career, money, identity, over and over again in focused 90-day sprints. We're talking how to pick the right goal and avoid the trap that keeps most people spinning, how to reverse engineer it into a clear plan, how to create unstoppable daily momentum, and how to build a container that practically guarantees follow through. And no, this isn't about hustle, burnout, or overhauling your entire life overnight. This is about focused, aligned action with strategy behind it. So if you're ready to actually become the version of yourself who gets what they want, let's go. Okay, so let's start with the problem. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in 90 days. And I get it. I used to do this all the time. I'd write these monster to-do lists. I'd start 5 things at once, and then I'd wonder why nothing ever stuck. But everything changed when I started using a 90-day container. Honestly, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew that I needed to shift my energy fast. So I made a decision. For 90 days, I would go all in on building this next chapter. Not figure everything out, just get in motion. And it worked. Because here's the thing, 90 days is long enough to build real momentum, but short enough that your brain stays engaged. There's actually research to back this up. Studies show that it takes about 66 days to form a new habit. But what happens in those final few weeks, that's when it starts to become who you are. That last stretch is where identity change locks in. That's why I call this the 90-day power shift. You're not just setting a goal, you're stepping into a new identity and doing it in a container that your nervous system can actually handle. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional and consistent for a short, focused period of time. And when you do that, you get results faster than you ever thought possible. So that's the big reframe. You don't need 5 years, you need a plan for the next 90 days. And speaking of that plan, let's talk about the first move that people get just completely wrong when they try to change their lives and what to do instead. Okay, so here's where most people blow up their own momentum before they even begin. They try to change everything all at once. New workout routine, new morning routine, new side hustle, meal prepping, journaling, budgeting, reading 3 books a month, meditating, all at once. Sound familiar? The truth is, it's not a motivation problem, it's a focus problem. When you spread your energy across 10 goals, nothing gets the attention that it deserves. So here's what I have learned. Big changes happen when you pick one thing and go deep. Let me give you some context. When I first started shifting out of my career as a doctor, I was so tempted to fix everything. My business, my body, my routines, my relationships. But I was exhausted and overwhelmed. So instead, I asked myself one question. What is the one thing that if I commit to it for 90 days would have the biggest ripple effect on everything else? And that question changed everything. That's the strategy right here. Choose your one thing. Not 5, not 3, 1. Because when you pick the right goal, it unlocks energy across every part of your life. So here's some examples. If your energy is a mess, maybe your 90-day focus is on improving your sleep. If you're constantly broke and stressed about money, then maybe it's building your first $500 a month side hustle. If you feel invisible or stuck in a rut, maybe it's showing up online and building your voice and confidence. If your health has taken a backseat, maybe it's simply walking 10,000 steps a day and drinking more water. Your one thing will look different from mine, but the rule is the same. It has to matter to you. It has to feel a little scary, and it has to be doable within 90 days. Here's a tip. If you can't think of your one thing right away, start with this question. What do I keep saying I want but haven't taken action on? That's usually your answer. I've had clients choose everything from rebuilding their strength post-injury to finally launching their podcasts to getting their home decluttered after years of chaos. And every single one of them said the same thing. Once I committed to that one thing, everything else started to shift too. So now, before we move on, what is your one thing? What is the change that you want to create over the next 90 days? You can write it down right now or just drop it in the comments if you want a little public accountability. Seriously, it'll help. All right, got your one thing? Perfect. Because now I'm going to show you exactly how to reverse engineer it into a crystal clear weekly plan. All right, so you've got your one thing. That's huge. But now comes the part where most people either stall out or get totally overwhelmed. The problem? They don't know how to bridge the gap between the big goal and what they need to do this week. So they either procrastinate or they get stuck in busy work that makes them feel productive but gets them nowhere. Here's the truth. Your brain loves clarity. When you know exactly what you're working toward and what today's role is in that bigger picture, you stop spinning your wheels. This is where we bring in strategy number 2, break it into weekly targets. So here's the context. There are 13 weeks in 90 days. That means that you have 13 bricks to build the house. When I first decided to focus all of my energy on growing my YouTube channel, this is exactly what I did. I reverse engineered my 90-day goal, which was post 12 videos, grow by 10,000 subscribers. I broke that into weekly production targets. Every week had a purpose. Every task had a direction. And most importantly, I stopped second guessing myself because I had a roadmap. So let's make this real for you. Say your 90-day goal is to write the first draft of your book. That's roughly 45,000 words. Divide that by 13 weeks. That equals approximately 3,500 words per week. That's 500 words per day. Totally doable. Or maybe you want to launch your wellness coaching business. So that means week 1, pick your niche. Week 2, outline your offer. Week 3, set up your website. And week 4 is create 3 content pieces, and so on. You're stacking bricks, and each week your confidence builds. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to know what this week's step is. Now, before we move on, let's recap this part. 1 goal, 13 weeks, 1 target per week. Simple and clear and powerful. In the next part of this video, I'm going to show you how to turn those weekly targets into unstoppable daily momentum without burning out or overthinking or quitting by week 2. So now you've got your goal, you've got your weekly targets, but let's talk about what actually makes it real and what keeps it from falling apart before it even gets started. So here's the problem. Most people think that achieving a big goal requires huge, dramatic action every day. So they either overcommit and then burn out, or they don't start at all because it just feels too big. But let me tell you something that I have learned over and over again. It's not the big actions that change your life. It's the small, daily ones that build your identity. This is where strategy number 3 comes in. Set daily non-negotiables. So let me give you some context. When I went through a phase to improve my health, I didn't overhaul everything. I didn't start training for a marathon or doing 2-hour workouts. I just created 3 daily non-negotiables. Move my body for 30 minutes, stop eating by 7 p.m., drink 2 liters of water. That's it, every day, no matter what, even if I was tired, even if I was traveling. Why? Because it reinforced the identity that I was stepping into. I am someone who takes care of my body, no matter what. And once that became my new identity, the results followed. So what does this look like for you? Let's say that your 90-day goal is to build your online coaching business. So your non-negotiables might be reach out to 1 new potential client per day, post 1 valuable piece of content, spend 20 minutes learning or refining your craft. Or maybe your goal is to write your book. So your daily non-negotiable is write those 500 words before you check email. Here's the key. Your non-negotiables should feel meaningful. but doable. They're not meant to be exhausting. They're meant to be anchors. Even when the rest of your day goes sideways, you can come back to these and say, I stayed connected to who I am becoming. And if you miss a day, don't spiral. Don't throw the whole plan out. Just get back to it the next day. That's part of the process. So now that you've got your daily anchors, we need to make sure that your environment and your schedule actually supports your goals, because the final step is what locks it all in. Coming up next, I'm going to show you how to create a container around your 90-day goal that gives you structure and focus and momentum without rigidity or pressure. All right, this final piece is the one that almost everybody overlooks. You've got your goal, you've broken it into weekly targets, you've set your daily non-negotiables, but here's the problem. Without a container, even the best intentions fall apart. Life gets busy, your energy dips, other people's priorities take over, and then suddenly your 90-day plan is buried under laundry and emails and Netflix. So here's strategy number 4. Create your 90-day container. Let me explain. A container is just a simple structure that holds your goal. It gives your plan boundaries and visibility and accountability, so you don't have to rely on willpower every day. Let me show you what this looked like for me. When I was in a 90-day sprint to relaunch one of my digital products, I mapped out the entire timeline on a big calendar. I knew which week I was writing emails, which week I was filming promotional content, and then when everything needed to go live. Every Monday, I reviewed the week's key tasks, and then every Friday, I had a check-in with myself to adjust and regroup or celebrate progress, whether I was ahead or behind. And yes, I still crossed each completed week off with a big red marker. There is something weirdly satisfying about that. Was it rigid? Nope. But it held me, and that's what you need. So here's how to create yours. Pick a start and end date. No vague, I'll start it soon. Pick the Monday. Count the 13 weeks. That's your window. Block out weekly check-ins, even if it's just 15 minutes on Sunday night. Review your progress, reset your plan, and recommit. Make your goal visible, like a wall calendar, a whiteboard, a habit tracker in your planner, really whatever works for you, but don't keep it hidden in a digital folder that you never open. And then decide how you'll celebrate. Yes, we celebrate wins around here. Choose something simple but meaningful that you'll do on day 90 if you follow through. And here's a hint. It's not about the outcome, it's about honoring the commitment. And as a bonus tip, share your 90-day container with someone. This could be your partner, your best friend, your team, your audience. Even one layer of outside accountability can double your follow through. This isn't about pressure. It's about making your success easier. When your environment is set up to support your goals, your energy becomes unstoppable. All right, you've got the 4-part system. Now let's pull it all together. You are 90 days away from the life that you keep saying you want, not from everything being perfect, but from being in motion, from finally having proof that you can follow through, from becoming the version of you who creates what she wants over and over again. So let's recap your roadmap. Choose one thing that actually matters to you, not 5, not 3, 1. Break it into weekly targets so that you always know exactly what to focus on next. Set daily non-negotiables that anchor your new identity one tiny win at a time, and create a container that holds your progress with structure and visibility and a finish line. That's it. That's the system, and it works. Now here's your next step. If you are ready to actually do this, to stop circling your goals and to finally build real momentum, I have created a free tool to help you get started. It's called The Reset, and it's a 5-day challenge that'll help you to clarify your goals, clean up your energy, and reset your habits. You will find the link below. It's totally free, and it's the perfect launchpad for your 90-day sprint. And if you want to take it even deeper, check out my well-planned method planner. It's designed for exactly this kind of focused 90-day growth. You don't need a miracle. You don't need more motivation. You just need to start. The next 90 days are going to pass either way. What if this time they changed everything? Start now. If you enjoyed this video, I think that you are going to like the video that I am going to link on the next screen about how I make time for everything in my life and save myself at least 20 hours a week. I will see you there. Alrighty, let's roll. Even one layer out of Try that again. Start now. No. Okay, there we go. That's a wrap. Oh no. To get the audio.